Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Jared Mataya, and I will discuss the Loden's diversity wheel. Let's know first who are the person develop this Loden's diversity wheel. So they are Marilyn Loden is an American writer, management consultant, and diversity advocate. She invented the phrase glass ceiling during in 1978 speech. Loden was featured in list on the BBC series 100 Women, where she discussed the role of gender discrimination in workplace. She is an alumna of Syracuse University. She is the author of many books with focus of employee diversity in the workforce. The next one who developed this Loden's diversity wheel is Jody B. Rosner. She is a professor in the Pulmerich School of Business, University of California in Verne. Judy B. Rosner, a 1951 graduate of UCLA, was traditional wife and mother until the University of California put the UCI campus in the backyard in 1965. As her children were beginning to leave the nest, she decided to go back to school part-time. At the time, she was thinking more becoming educated than having an academic career. Let's have first the background about Loden's diversity wheel. So Marilyn Loden and Judy Rosner developed a framework to respond to the flourishing divergence in America's labor force. Their goal was to capacitate people to make their voices heard by pointing to their diversity and its impact on their person, their rights, and their freedom. Loden and Rosner published the book Workforce America Managing Employee Diversity as a Vital Resource. So, in their book, the original version of diversity wheel model was introduced. Loden recognized that the demand for instruments that would help people better understand how group-based differences influence people's so- social identities, dissatisfaction, distrust, and competition would ensue when the different dimensions of diversity are not given recognition. Loden and Rosner extensive research led them to maximizing the workforce of a diverse group of people. Managing diversities are assets to develop product of working relationships. The model was revised in 1996 to cover additional aspects of group differences that were implied in the first model. The changes were to recognize the experiences of people who identify these aspects as most important to their personhood. The different components in diversity will played significant roles in building character and possibly forming stereotypes. She hoped that this could be used to further discuss diversities not only in the workforce but globally. As what Loden states that I think diversity discussions are really about understanding our social identities, acknowledging what is important, and learning to integrate into society so that no subgroup feels excluded or one down. So this diversity will have a significance in our social characters and the way we develop our identity when we are establishing or we establish a connection with a specific group of people or individual. So the will consists of primary or core and secondary dimension of diversity. The categories put forward the effect of these differences on a person's beliefs, expectation, and life experiences. So the dimensions are components that comprise the whole person or our whole personality. The Loden's diversity will have two dimensions. Those are primary or core dimensions and secondary dimensions of diversity. So let's begin with first the primary or the core dimensions that it is in the inner circle o yung nasa pinakaloob ng circle. These are the stronger ones. These are the characteristics that we are born with or established by significant experiences we had or people interacted with. So these are considered to be distinctly persuasive in establishing who we are. It's either in our principles, our sense of life, our image, our perceptions, and how we think about others. So these dimensions or attributes are in the place or established. And also it is little likely to change. So the elements of in the core or the primary dimensions of diversity are the age, the ethnicity, gender, physical abilities or qualities, the race, income, sexual orientations, class, and spiritual beliefs. So the age and the ethnicity are core but cannot be changed. So our age, so kahit taon-taon man tayo nagbe-birthday or nadadagdagan ang edad natin, but it is nature for us. Our ethnicity. So dahil tayo ay pure Pilipino, pumunta tayo ng ibang bansa or in America or somewhere there. So we are still Filipino. So hindi yung mababago man kasi yun yung ating kinagisnan. The gender, our physical abilities or qualities, the race, income, our sexual orientation, class, and the spiritual beliefs are also the core or the primary dimensions of diversity, but it will change or they can be changed like our gender. So babae tayo, so it will change if nagpapalit tayo ng ari ng panlalaki or trans man or anything transgender. Our physical abilities or quality, it will change if kapag tayo nagkasakit or nagka-polio. So may bago-bago, minsan lilit yung paa natin. So may nagbago. The income is not stable, may mababa o malaking income. Sexual orientation, so babae tayo pero feel as a man. So we feel as a man, gusto natin magsuot ng damit panlalaki. Lalaki tayo, gusto natin magsuot ng damit pambabae. So we are tayo pa rin yun, but may nagbago na. So those are still the core, but it will change or they can change. The next one is the secondary dimensions that in the outer circle. These characteristics are also part of our social identity, but it can change or be discarded as our life experiences the impact on us. They are influenced also by people that we encounter, places that we go to or live in, and experiences that we go through. So the second dimension is composed of geographical location, marital status, religious beliefs, parental status, education, work experience, military experience, first language, family status, and work and communication style. So the secondary dimensions are affect our lives, it is our experiences that also affect our personal social identity and personal ability. Further that the core or the primary dimensions and the secondary dimensions are affect our prior experiences, viewpoints in life, and principles, giving us it's also giving us an exclusive mindset of the world around us, and also it making each one of us distinct individuals or unique from each other. Remember that this diversity wheel is useful in explaining how group-based differences contribute to individual identities. The function of this wheel is to encourage people to talk and discuss with each other and generate new points of view among each one in the group. In the two dimensions of the wheel, each individual is made aware of his or her differences. We will use it as a guidelines on how to interact or adapt um, the opinions, ideas of other people. And also why we need to manage our diversity. It will help organization to better understand the target demographics and what moves them. So and also what as a future educators and if we are in field of teaching, we are dealing with a different learner. They have uniqueness. Dealing with them, we need to know some of their background information to avoid some instances that to be avoided and adjust our way of teaching to easily adapt the lessons by the learners. So thank you for listening. So this is the Loden's Diversity Wheel. Thank you very much.